You were quick to... Wow.
Okay.
All right.
Let's hear it.
Let's hear it. And the winner is mountains.
Mountain!
Remind us what we'll be getting in the mountains.
You will get goats, and you will get kind of a new kind of snow.
Yes.
Yes. And we'll also look into like the generation of the mountains to give them a more majestic feel.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Hello, I'm ABX Toycat, and you heard that correct. Snowier Snow is now a feature you can expect to see in your Minecraft game. It's very exciting, but we also saw some other announcements, the bigger announcements I would argue, at Minecon Live, and I wanted to talk about all the gameplay announcements, i.e. all the 1.15/1.16 announcements, and I wanted to share exactly what they all were in today's video, which I hope you all do enjoy. So let's start by mentioning the theme of the update. The theme of the update is not going to be revolving around mountains, instead it's going to be revolving around the Nether. If you want to see exactly what that looks like, then I'll show you in the background, because long story short, they've decided the Nether needs an update. Like I was mentioning yesterday, the Nether kind of has been left alone for quite some time. It currently is just one big biome, so they've decided they want to update the Nether with brand new biomes and brand new things to do, and here is our first little peek at that.
Yes. So we will actually show some of them today, and the first one is the Soul Sand Valley.
Soul Sand Valley.
So the Soul Sand Valley is going to be a brand new biome you can find in the Nether. It's going to be covered in these giant stalagmites / stalactites. It's going to have a brand new type of fire, because when you light soul sand after this update, what's going to happen is you're going to see it turns blue, and it's also going to contain fossils. This is going to be something you can find in your Nether. It's obviously going to be seed dependent as a type of biome, and it's very exciting looking. And as you can tell from the cheers, everyone else is kind of excited too. But it's not the only brand new Nether biome we saw announced at Minecon Live. There was another one, and
it's the Netherwart forest.
So as you can see, this is a Netherwart forest. It's a brand new type of forest in the Nether. This is a big change. It means the Nether will be more of a livable place, because again, there's like a type of tree found here. I assume that's a type of wood at least. It's a, you know, a wood equivalent, if not, if nothing else. There's going to be actual foliage in the Nether. There's going to be Nether exclusive mushrooms, it looks like. Look on the ground, look at the Nether, you know, like the actual trees. Look how many brand new blocks there are, and realize it's not the only type of this biome. Here's a blue one to go with it. Look, an entirely different foliage here too. You can see how it's actually growing on top of the Netherrack in a really interesting way, and yeah, it goes to show that there is going to be a whole brand new way that the Nether is going to exist in this fashion. And it's kind of interesting to me, because you'll notice how right here there's a zombie pigman that kind of plays into what we're talking about later, because it's an existing zombie pigman. But despite that, we have another big announcement to make the Nether more livable, because as you're going to see right here, there are also something brand new called Piglins coming to the game, which is, according to Jeb, the new name for the zombie pigments. So they're going to be changed in their entirety, and the reason they're changing in their entirety, the reason we're seeing this brand new version of the zombie pigman that, again, looks different, but also behaves a bit differently, as you're going to see right here. You know, I mean, not only do they have crossbows sometimes, but also they don't like it when you open chests now. That's a sign of aggression. Do not open their stuff. I mean, if you go rooting through my chest, I'd be angry at you too. And apparently the zombie pigmans understand that entirely. So yeah, the reason they're called Piglins now is because they're called the Piglins, and the thing they just slayed is the Piglin Beast. Another big brand new reveal that happened at Minecon Live. There is now a brand new type of food found in the Nether, because again, one of the things they noticed is the Nether isn't really livable, and one of the reasons is that you can't find any proper food besides zombie pigmen. You can get rotten flesh, but is rotten flesh real food? I would argue probably not. So yeah, there's going to be a brand new actual way to get actual sustenance and to actually survive in the Nether. And this is something I want to kind of just like at least talk a little bit about, because the whole theme of this update is going to be the Nether update. There are going to be a lot more biomes that we haven't seen yet. There are going to be a lot more changes in terms of mobs, they basically directly said. So we're going to see new mobs, we're going to see new biomes, we're going to see a lot of new blocks, because everything has been around the Nether, but a lot of it seems to be focused around livability. Maybe that's just the things we've seen so far. Maybe they're also going to make it a lot more hellish in some of these biomes, but there's a real worry here that they're making the Nether too livable. I mean, the Nether is literally hell, right? It's literally the dimension below that off the Minecraft one. And if you're going to have a hellish dimension, I think you need to make it tricky to be in, right? I think you need to have challenges, and you need to make it a hard biome to survive in, a hard dimension to survive in, because the point is, you get back to the overworld when you need food. I think it's cool to have piglin beasts, and they actually are a challenging source of food. They're probably going to hurt you more than they can help you. I think it's cool if you add them in the game as a potential source of food, but they shouldn't give you stuff for like free. You shouldn't be able to just like, you know, go up to them and find some, you know, stuff over there. The Nether should be a challenge. It should be a thing that you genuinely struggle to survive in, and I hope they keep that aspect. And one thing I will say to kind of just back that up is what they actually have confirmed is that the piglins will be able to trade with you in a different way to the villagers. So they said that if, you know, villager trading is called trading, you know, you trade with them, they're really nice. They, you know, there was a whole fun, cute thing from Agnes, but, you know, like it's a nice trade. You're both equally exchanging, and it's a very friendly gesture. You can barter with the piglins where you give them stuff and sometimes they give you stuff back. I think that's a fun kind of mix up on the trade mechanic. And yeah, and they've said there's going to be exclusive items, brand new things you'll be able to find in the Nether via bartering with the piglins, and I like that. That does make it feel like a more alive place. I also really love the fact that because there's going to be more biomes, again, we've seen 2 of them so far, but there's going to be more biomes in the Nether, even just having 3, our default, and then the brand new soul sand caverns, and then the brand new forest. Like, just having these 3 things alone would already make the Nethers way more exciting than current, but if you go up to like 5 or 7 or close to 10, when you add more biomes, you make every Nether slightly different, and you make every Nether seed very different as well. So yeah, you can actually increase, you know, the amount of Minecraft enjoyment for different seeds, and even on the same world, exponentially with brand new Nether biomes. So yeah, very excited to say the least on that one. It also means there's a real benefit and downside, depending on your real perspective, to exploring your Nether now. So make sure you know what you're doing with regards to that. So what is happening with the next big update? Well, there's going to be, you know, a big Nether theme. There's going to be snowier snow. There's going to be mountain goats. There's going to be an entire overhaul to the mountain biome. And you might think that's a pretty solid, you know, thing to hear so far. I mean, I would say it's a little bit sparse on the Nether details, but as far as everything else goes, it's pretty solid in that way. But we also have some other big announcements, or medium-sized announcements, because we heard about the target block. It's a brand new block. You hit it, it does a redstone signal. That's kind of cool. A lot of people say it's like the button, but the difference here is analog. So the closer to the center you hit the target block, the better you do. But also we have the brand new honey block, which I think is adorable, and I'll just let you hear it be explained by Agnes right here.
So we're actually adding a new block, and that's the honey block.
Let's see the honey block.
So it's very sticky, and as you can see, you can't really jump when you are on the honey block. And it's also sticky on the sides, so you fall down very slowly.
Also, you can't really run on it. It keeps you going pretty slowly, so you can't go very fast. You can't really outrun anything.
We also added some interesting piston mechanics to it. So the honey block moves with piston, and also players or animals on it will also move together.
So yeah,
with the
a
honey
brand new
blocks.
type of block that has this kind of sliding mechanic we haven't seen before. It sounds like the comments they made afterwards, it sounds like you might be able to slide up it, but either way, the fact that there's a sliding down block is kind of cool. The fact that there is a brand new block that limits your jumping entirely, as well as the fact that it, you know, you properly move it. It's kind of like, it's funny to me, because this is what like a sticky piston kind of should be in some ways, but yeah, stops you from sprinting, stops you from running even, and should be kind of interesting with regards to parkour, and I'm sure there's going to be some wild redstone uses for this. Again, I think it's a cool little olive branch to the redstone community, like, hey, there's a target block, which is kind of basic and maybe you can do something with, but there's the way more exciting honey block, which someone's going to do some insane stuff with, and that's what Minecraft is kind of about in some ways, right? Doing some insane stuff with the weird mechanics given to you, and yeah, I kind of liked it on that level. So yeah, what do we know is coming to Minecraft now? We know all of these things, we know the Nether update, we know the mountain update, we know there's the bee stuff, which, you know, it's already kind of in snapshots, but the bee stuff is being expanded, of course, with the honey blocks, it's being expanded with the target blocks, and then on top of those things, we're going to hear more things be announced over the next, you know, year or so, because again, when it comes to a lot of this stuff, it was shown as preview stuff, so it's not even snapshot, it's not even playable. They kind of just wanted to have the most functional, basic version to show what it could look like, a proof of concept or whatever. And yeah, just keep that in mind. There are lots of more things coming in this update, but we don't know what they are, and I imagine no one at Mojang knows what they are, besides like on some piece of paper, like as a theory kind of thing. So yeah, besides that, I just want to mention here at the end, because this is a video focused about the update side of things, but we did also hear about Realms Plus. That is a Realm subscription with more players, as well as having access to marketplace content, kind of like you do on Java, but this is stuff that otherwise you would have to pay for, that comes free with your Realm subscription. That's just an objective upgrade in my opinion. Also, Minecon is going back to being a physical festival next year, or rather, Minecon is now the name for the show, and Mine Festival is the name for the convention. I don't know who does the names anymore. What's the problem with that, Mojang? Why? I mean, why not just use Minecon, the convention that you already have to rename because you used the name wrong anyway for Minecon Earth? Like, why not just make that the convention and have the festival or the show be called Mine Show or Mine Fest? You know, whatever. Bad at names is just a thing we know about Microsoft at this point, right? Like they don't know how to communicate ideas effectively, and that's fine. You know, they can do that as much as they like. But yeah, so Minecon or Mine Festival is happening next year, unless it's like one of those things where I literally cannot get a ticket because Minecon tickets sold out very fast. But yeah, I'll let you know if I am going as soon as I get my hands on one. But 99.9% chance, if you want to see me at a physical event, Orlando in September of 2019. I think it's like 27th, 29th, whatever. You do your Googling after this if you want to show up there. It'll be kind of fun. So yeah, there'll be a Minecon physical event. Also, Realms Plus is a thing. Also, they did a tiny bit of Minecraft RTX stuff. Also, they kind of spoke about the new skin system, and they're like, you know what? People really love this. I mentioned it yesterday. So yeah, my predictions were pretty accurate overall. I even said specifically, like, yeah, a Nether update seems to be the one that makes the most sense, and that one came too. So yeah, here's me tooting my own horn for a few minutes at the end of the video. I hope you appreciate this, and if you don't, then you know what? I don't know, man. Have a nice day regardless, I guess, because I'm gonna go do that too. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all in another video. Seed Sunday tomorrow, actually. It's a big one in terms of something we've wanted for a long time has been found, and I don't want to spoil it, but it happened. It's cool. Anyway, yeah, see you. Bye.